Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm very pleased to be joined by Gucharan Singh, parliamentary candidate for the Conservative Party for Slough. Gucharan Singh ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਚੈਨਲ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਗੁਰਸ਼ਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਾਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਏ why are you standing in Slough for Conservative Party?
Well, basically Slough is a semi-marginal seat, it's a winnable seat. That was the one reason. I've seen the neglect in Slough within the last 18 to 20 years. Labour has been there and this town is decaying, and I just want to reverse that trend. High Street is dying. University campus have been taken away from Slough and there's no plans. Traffic congestion is absolutely diabolical. So all these things need a fresh approach. Now we have a current member of parliament who's been there for 18 years. She has not done it.
Fiona McTaggart.
That's the one.
She's quite well attached to the Sikh community. She's been to the Gurdwara very often. She has a good reputation in the Sikh community and she's quite well established. How will you overcome these obstacles?
I don't agree with that one. When issue of the free school or Sikh school came in, there were two groups and her job should be that she should unite together. But that didn't happen at all. In fact, that delayed by 1 year. Yes. And the Labour Party itself also opposed the Muslim schools there because we all want free schools there. This is our culture. So I will not say that she's so well entrenched with the Muslims or Sikhs or anybody else for that matter. Yes, she's been a member of parliament.
She did support the schools. She supported the Khalsa primary school.
She did.
She supported the planning application for the secondary.
She did, but that delayed 1 year. She supported one of the groups. What MP should have done, brought both groups together and then worked on it. And in the process, they've been delayed by the establishment for 1 year at least, the school. So I think this is a conservative policy, which she should have accepted by heart. But she did not do that.
And the secondary school, there secondary school shuru hoya, Conservative government, will you make it a state-funded school rather than a free school?
Well, whatever it needs to be done, it will be done. Obviously, I would need to take the local population into consideration and also what their views are. And we want it to be viable. If it needs to be state funded, then it has to be. It's simple as that.
And what's your connection? Sorry, Slough ki hegi connection?
My connection is much better than Fiona McTaggart. She comes from Scotland and I come from Southall. Southall is only 10 miles away from Slough. And I visit Gurdwaras, I visit temples, I visit mosques. So I think I'm well entrenched and most of the people from Southall has moved into Slough. So I have a good connection with them.
Did you see community kafi ginti hegi Slough the bit? 10,000 hona?
Well, at the moment I think the whole population is at about 30,000 white votes there. Yes. And 17,000 Muslim votes there, 10,638 Sikh voters and 4,000 Hindu voters.
So the Sikh vote is very important.
Well, all the sections are very important. Obviously, Sikhs and Muslims and everybody is important. Every single vote is very important. What I need there is the difference between winning and losing is 5,523 votes. So all I need is extra 2,700 votes, which is I think there. And it's for me how hard I work and how do I get there.
And the Conservative Party at a national level, what's their approach to the Sikh community in terms of religious education in schools, introducing greater emphasis for Sikh faith?
Sikhs are, Conservatives are normally religious people, but religious in the sense they respect all the religions. If you look at what Cameron has done in the last 5 years, they started celebrating Vaisakhi at Downing Street. They also talking about now establishing a Sikh regiment there as well. And obviously Guru Nanak's birthday is being celebrated there as well. So I think the Conservatives are doing very well. They also introduced legislation that where Sikh turbans will not be searched at the airport. And the people don't have to wear a hard hat at the building sites as well. So I think the Conservatives have done quite a lot, not for the Sikhs only, but also for the economy as well. 30 million people have been taken out of the tax bracket, 1.9 million more jobs since 2010. You know, when we came to power in 2010, country was virtually bankrupt. Banks were being bailed out.
The community traditionally have voted for Labour. In my parents' generation, your generation, have always voted for Labour and are Labour supporters. by their nature. And what would you say to them? Why should they vote for Conservatives when the Labour Party is the party of the workers and the Sikh community is very hard-working,
Absolutely.
community, and the Conservative Party also have an image of being a little bit maybe not so welcoming for ethnic minorities. So it's not a natural party for Sikh community.
Okay.
Is that right?
Let me say a couple of things. First of all, there's a recent survey. There's 16% Sikhs are voting for the Conservatives now. Not all Sikhs vote for Labour, or all ethnic BME communities vote for Labour. And the other thing is that we are talking about welcoming. Conservative Party is the only party who, in a almost winnable seat, is putting a man with a turban. When I was in the Labour, I was told that, will you go to, or I was asked, will you go to the Parliament with a turban on? Obviously, they did not accept the turban at that time. So I will
When
not.
was that?
That was in 2007. That was
Very
the-
recently.
yeah, just a few years back. So basically, Labour is one thing when they talk about the equality. When it comes into the practice, it's entirely different. As far as I'm concerned, Labour is no friend of Sikhs. Sikhs are entrepreneur community. They work hard. And
What about the Punjabi A Level? Under the present government, the Punjabi A Level is under threat. Fiona McTaggart has given a very clear pledge that she and her government will ensure the Punjabi A Level is not abolished. What do you say about that?
Fiona just came onto the board now. We have been campaigning for Punjabi education since 70s and 80s. And I will continue to campaign if that happens.
The Punjabi A Level
Of course.
specifically is under threat at the moment.
You see,
What will you do about
she
that?
says that is scaremongering. If it is under threat, obviously I'll be there on the streets and fighting for to be kept in the curriculum. So
It's your party, the Conservative Party, who might abolish it.
well, it might be Labour as well. You never know. So we don't know yet. Conservative Party has no plan to abolish Punjabi language at A Level at this stage. But if an issue comes up, obviously I'll be there. And that's one reason why people should vote for me. I'll be on the green benches, sitting there, campaigning for the Punjabi and everybody else.
How important is it for Sikh community to get involved in politics? As you say, we don't have a turbaned MP. We only have one MP in the Parliament at the moment, Paul Uppal. We should have at least 7 or 8 or 10 MPs. Why is that? Why is the Sikh community not very involved in politics?
I think it's a collective failure of the Sikh community as well. ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੌਕਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੌਕਾ ਖੰਜਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਸਲਾਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਭੇਜਣ ਦਾ ਆਮ ਨਾਟ ਸੇਇੰਗ ਵੋਟ ਫॉर ਮੀ ਜਸਟ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਟਰੈਕ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਵੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਆਈ ਬੀਨ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਆਫ ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਰੀਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਵੇਸਟ ਕੈਬਨਿਟ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਆਫ the council and I have been a very successful mayor as well. So all these things are there. People should vote for me for the conservative policies. When we are people who look after hardworking people, and Sikhs are
And
hardworking
how can we
people.
get more Sikhs into Parliament? What's your view generally about Sikhs and politics and becoming MPs?
The politics is way of life. I think you should be actively participating in it. And that's what it is. There's no.
Well, why is the Sikh community not participating? Sikh community is very, in terms of politics, we are very, we've been left behind by other communities. We're very archaic and a bit lethargic. We're very good at business, professions, and entrepreneurship, and doing well in terms of property and so on.
Yep.
A lot of Sikh people are very successful business people, professional people, and even in the arts and the music industry. But when it comes to politics, Sikh community have not engaged. Why is that?
I think it's a collective failure of of our community. We
Of
are
the
much
Gurdwara.
of the Gurdwaras as well. You see, Gurdwara should support, but this is not the only reason. I think that if they are living in this country, they are part or parcel of this country, and they should be actively participating at the grassroots.
Are Sikhs too passive? in
I will not
politics
say that.
and
I will not
getting
say
involved?
that. I will not say that. If you look at, there have been a member of parliament like Paul Uppal, Conservative member of parliament, and there has been, I think, in the Labour 1 or 2 as well. But basically, now
Very few, very
and now it is their opportunity. They should support me, and if they support me, then they will have one person who will be identifiable with his turban, and I can guarantee, and I will I promise to all the communities that I will not fail any of them, whether it's a Sikh, Hindu or Muslim. I'm there representing the whole constituents of Slough, and that is my job. That's what I intend to do it.
What about UKIP? Are they a big threat to the Conservative Party? Because this election is very, very fractured, and it looks like there'll be a coalition. And will UKIP take away some of your supporters?
Well, you know, these things happen in politics. Some people vote for you, some don't vote for you. If the UKIP is there, fine, welcome, and let them try their luck. There has been a national front in the past, and the Green Party will be damaging Labour and all these things. So these things happen. At least people are engaging. That's the main thing. Whether it's a UKIP, National Front, Conservative, Green or Lib Dems, whatever it is.
Within the Sikh Manifesto, which elements of the Sikh Manifesto would you push forward if you were elected?
Generally, I support Sikh Manifesto. Generally, there are a couple of things which I probably I'll have to think very carefully. I'll have to go in details when you have another half an hour, 45 minutes.
So but which elements do you support?
At the moment, I support generally the Sikh Manifesto.
Which element? Which policy?
I think there are about 10.
Items.
I think.
Which item would you like?
Without looking at it at this stage, I think at least 8 or 9 I support.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And what's your view about the relationship between France and the UK, and in terms of the ban on the turban in France?
Well,
the present Conservative government have done nothing really to put any pressure on the French government. If you're elected, will you try and influence?
I was the first politician or only politician when I was a mayor. I went to France to demonstrate against a ban on turbans, ban on hijabs and that kind of thing. And history tells everybody that I have been there whenever there is a discrimination against anybody, whether it's a Sikh, Hindu or Muslim, whether it's in UK, whether it's in Paris, I have been there. So obviously we as Sikhs stand for equality for all, and what we preach, we also practice as well. So if time comes in, if something needs to be done, I will do it without saying it.
The Sikh Channel is a Sikh communities channel. What's your views of the Sikh Channel? What's your experience of the Sikh Channel?
My experience of Sikh Channel has been very good. I've been involved or associated with it since its inception. So I think, it's very good, and wish them luck all the time.
What do you want from the Slough Sikh community? How can they help you in your forthcoming election, and how can they help you with your campaigning?
What I want from all the communities, including Sikhs, to come out into my office, which is in St. Lawrence Way behind the High Street, and campaign and canvass for me, do my leafleting, campaigning, canvassing. And that's what it is. I think this is the one, Slough has never had a Sikh or BME community member of parliament. And I think this is their opportunity. They should come out and support, and they should come out in droves and support me.
Gucharan Singh ji, we wish you well with the election, and waheguru to get and we hope everything goes well for you, and best of luck in the forthcoming election.
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm delighted to be here. Hopefully everything will come out all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.